This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, LowcoSports fans, ready or not, it's time to rock and or roll into another edition of the LowcoSports Lowdown, Thursday night edition before a big Friday night. Only one football game, one game in town on Friday, but then two huge ones up the road in Charleston on Saturday, a couple SCISA state championship games. So we will be talking with some of the stars who will be shining on Saturday at Charleston Southern momentarily. We are expecting visits from Tucker Tevepaugh and Connor White, a couple of the stars from Hilton Head Christian Academy, who we have not really given their face time yet. So they're going to get some face time. Although Connor, he has sung the national anthem before the games. So, you know, he's getting his time in the spotlight, but we're going to get him on here. That'll be a good time. He's been an anchor on that line for years. And then Tevepaugh came in as, you know, a nationally ranked punter, but has become really a force on defense for them too. I know you love him on defense. Like you hype him all the time. And he's a ball hawk, man. He goes and hits people hard and plays hard. So we enjoy him and looking forward to talking with those guys. And then we got the Hugh and Fairey law firm from Patrick Henry going to be joining us, the twins. Although apparently their agent, Wayne Brown, Coach Brown, you know him from previous antics on our shows, state champion baseball coach over there. He said he's their agent, and he usually charges $1,000 or $100 an hour, but for us, just a Loco t-shirt will do. So I will say there's going to be an opportunity to get you a Loco t-shirt with a contribution to the cause, because we're going to be live out inside the stadium, right in front of the storm shelter, the little blue building in the corner where they sell drinks out of there and they store their stuff. The storm shelter will be set up, posted up over there. That's where Coach Hannah told me to set up. 6 to 7, we'll do our little Loco on Location dog and pony show. We'll get the mic going and get one time on there and G Daddy and, you know, whatever characters wander up and want to talk for a minute. And we'll try to stream that out if we can get a good enough signal. But, you know, you might want to be there just in case, just to make sure that you get to be a part of it. Marcus Walsh, looking forward to talking gridiron with us. I think we're going to skip the lunch show tomorrow, actually, because we only have one game and we're doing a live pregame show. So it just makes sense to me to skip the lunch show and handle that there. But Marcus, we'll get you in here. Shoot, I'll get you the link right now. We'll get you in here tonight, and you can talk some gridiron with us, because we're going to be doing a lot of that. Again, we're going to have both those guys coming in. And then in the back half, we're going to talk hoops. USCB split on the road at Morris last night. The women, just not enough bodies. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. Momentarily, actually. And then we're going to talk with Jeremiah Faber later on, legendary Ridgeland Hardyville / Jasper County / Ridgeland Jaguars coach, and now at Whale Branch, where they're ranked number 3 in Class 1A going into the season. And they'll be opening up against Hampton County, which will be down the football guys, obviously. Saturday night, 8 o'clock showdown at Whale Branch, Hampton County and Whale Branch boys. So we'll be busy with the Patrick Henry boys up the road, but I think our guy Tristan Roberts, new student intern prospect from Whale Branch, who's been doing some stuff with Buford's Own and is really a really talented kid and excited to get started with this. He's going to be helping us out with some coverage from that tournament until we can get out there. Hopefully one of us, you know, I'm hoping to get out there next week, Monday or Tuesday, see what shakes out for the finals. It's non-traditional tournament because some teams could only play 1 game or 2 games based on how many available dates they had on their schedule. So it's not like you necessarily are playing through to the championship, but we should get something that resembles a championship at the end, and should be some decent matchups. And again, I mean, Hampton and Whale Branch in the opener, that's about as good as it gets. You wish Hampton was full strength, but nonetheless.
Yeah, they're in football mode right now. They're getting ready for a big one tomorrow.
Yeah, they won't have Zay or Garvin or Zay or Chisholm or well, Zion's not much of a factor in basketball, as much of a factor. Hezzy, you know, like they're down Goodman, they're down a bunch of guys, but it'll still be fun. But yeah, the big football game tomorrow night is the main event in Hampton right now. There's only a handful of people who won't be fixated on that, you know, first and foremost. And I'm looking forward to that one. That should be a Donnybrook with old Andrew Jackson.
Yeah, I think this Andrew Jackson team has some guys that can present some trouble for Hampton. They've got an excellent running back. They've got a strong offensive line. So this is going to be the most complete test that they've had so far in these playoffs, but I do think Hampton County has a little more, especially defensively. We'll break down that game later on the show and probably a lot and then more and further detail tomorrow. But yeah, I like the look of Hampton County in this matchup, but this is going to be a step up in terms of talent level when you look at
Yeah.
what Andrew Jack's team has done. They've rolled through their first two matchups. Although this Hampton County team playing at home, playing with that energy, it's going to be tough to knock off. But I am excited to get out there, and you never know it. We may have another opportunity next week if we get an upset if Barnwell ends up knocking off Oceanside. So we'll definitely have to check in on that one, and we'll see who ends up on top over there. The winner gets Hampton or Andrew Jackson in the lower state championship tomorrow or next week. So and then tomorrow or on Saturday rather, we got tomorrow's Friday, and then Saturday we got the doubleheader with Hilton Head Christian Academy starting it off up against Wilson Hall, and then Patrick Henry. Great to see the Patriots make it to the state championship game. They were knocking the door last year, and I thought as a betting man, I thought it would have been the Rebels. Thomas Harry we were talking about this week, but it's the Patriots, and good for them because that was a gutsy win on the road against a very, very good and pesky Dorchester Academy team. Really, really impressive stuff. And now we'll see if they can finish the job against a Lee Academy team who they beat, but it's a lot different team than what we saw earlier on the year.
Yeah, no question. I mean, we got to see them last week. Sorry, getting distracted by texts and things like that. We saw them last week, or I did, against Thomas Hayward, and they certainly looked like a strong, the kind of team we expect from Lee Academy that we see every year at Charleston Southern. Good physical team. They run the ball really well. I like the way it's a little wrinkle for Rankin. It's new. But he ran it with pace last week. I mean, they were still run heavy, but man, they did it. They went fast and they didn't waste a lot of time in between plays. They kept the defense on its heels, didn't allow substitution, kept Tyree from really being able to adjust at the line of scrimmage and things like that. So I was impressed with that. I mean, everybody knows that Rankin can coach. He's been doing it there for a long time, and everybody in SCISA really looks up to him as one of the really smart guys, when it comes to coaching football. So it's not going to be the same game that it was the first time. I guarantee you that. Patrick Henry will have to beat them a different way. And whether Patrick Henry is able to do that is the question. Can they beat them a different way? And I think we'll find out pretty early on whether they've got a game plan that can do that or not. On defense, they're going to have to get stops. They're going to have to play a lot like they did last week. They're going to have to shorten the game a little bit more than they really would like to. They really would like to get up and down the field, but they can't do that because Lee will wear them down. They're going to have to try to limit the number of I was told that the link was sent from Ron Peduzzi, but I'm hearing from Coach White over there that the boys don't have the link. So we'll get the boys in here real soon. They're on standby. But yeah, Peduzzi was excited. Who would be good? Tucker Tevepaugh and Connor White. They'd be good.
Yeah.
It was in a text, but I could hear his voice.
I love watching Tucker Tevepaugh play. Certainly the high prestige when he came in with the prolific playing abilities, but man, he's grown into a fixture on defense, and he's just got that extra kind of alertness on the field. Always find a way to make a play on the football and be in the right spot, in the right position to either break a pass away or break it up or make an interception. And, Hilton Christian Academy needed that extra, tool Swiss Army kind of player that we've seen in other spots throughout. I mean, Jackson is kind of a different player, but he kind of reminds me of the heart and the versatility of Lanier a bit when it comes to.
And frankly, if you told Tevepaugh, like, hey, we need you to play running back tonight, he'd go out there and give you everything he's got, just like Jackson Lanier would. I mean, there's no question. I absolutely see that comparison, no question. And we've got one of our friends in the green room, but we'll wait for the other one to appear as well. I should have gotten. Man, it's on Instagram. I got it on there, but I got to see if I can pull it up. There's a video of Connor singing the national anthem. His mom sent me one time.
Yeah,
he's a man of
many talents.
He's a man of many talents, a Renaissance man,
yes.
if you will. But we'll await his friend for a moment. But yeah, it's really interesting that both of these games are rematches, both of our SCISA championship games. And you mentioned it last week at some point, some day. I don't know what day it is most of the time. You mentioned at some point that you don't see that very often, and SCISA is kind of a rare environment where you can see it, but it still doesn't happen that often that they happen to match up in the regular season, because neither one of these is region versus region. I mean, 3A sort of is, but like it's not like somebody knocks somebody off. So
3A is kind of different, where it's kind of everybody's in one.
Yeah,
division.
It's a weird deal. It's a weird deal.
You play, not everybody, but you play a couple of teams.
Right. It's more likely to happen in 3A than it is in the other classifications. But we have both of our friends from Hilltop Christian Academy here now. So let's go ahead and welcome in Connor White and Tucker Tevepaugh. Tevepaugh or Tevepaugh, Tuck?
Tevepaugh. Like TV.
Watching
Tevepaugh.
Yep.
Tevepaugh. All right. Well, that's even cooler. Tevepaugh.
Yes, sir.
That's fun to say. I'm going to enjoy saying that now. Gentlemen, we have reached the pinnacle. 10 straight wins. The last time you lost was to Wilton Hall. You get a chance to avenge that one tomorrow and wipe it off the slate, and then you just have Savannah Christian on there, which nobody's going to fault you for. So how pumped are we to go out there Saturday and try to make it right?
I mean, I don't know I can't speak for Tucker, but I can speak for us guys. We are so ready. We're excited. We've been preparing for this honestly since freshman year. We've been here before. We know what it takes. We know what we need to do. And I think the mentality is to go in and play our game and win.
Yeah, everybody all week has been talking about we want to beat them as bad as we can. We want to win by as much as possible. We don't want to give up any points. That's the defense all year, no points. That's all we strive for. So we want it.
Wes?
I've really enjoyed watching the evolution of this team, and to see the start that you guys have had. Certainly a really good Savannah Christian team up first, and then just falling short against Wilson Hall. And how pumped are you to be able to see them again after certainly envisioning this scenario where you would have an opportunity to play them again in the postseason after gaining some steam throughout the year. So just how pumped are you for an opportunity to take the revenge in the final game?
I think it kind of brings the season full circle. We lost to them first game, and that's had a chip on our shoulder the whole season. And I think the only way we overcome that is if we beat them. And they're number one on our list right now. We want them.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Tucker. It's one of those things where the past 2 years we've really had to step up as a group. The senior class has really had to take on that role of being the leaders. We've kind of been the supporting roles for a long time, our freshman, sophomore year, and now we've been working into stepping in. And the earlier in the season, we've kind of built from there. And I think now we've focused on one point, that's to win our last game. And really, it's nice that it comes full circle, like Tucker said, to play a team like Wilson Hall, and get after it. So we're excited.
Yeah.
Following up on that, you guys have been around this team for a while, especially Connor. You've seen some state championship squads. You've been a part of them, especially looking back at Jace Black's year, that terrific year, and then following up with the Speedy Robinson year, and a couple of terrific players. Of course, Jackson here coming through this program. Just tell me about what you've learned, from your time earlier as an underclassman and just watching this team and what you've kind of picked up on with these veteran players that you've incorporated yourself into your game.
Well, I'd say for starters, being able to come into my freshman year, coming into a new school, and off the bat, getting into a culture that's not only a culture centered around God, but a culture that's centered around winning for that reason is exceptional. Being under guys like JP Peduzzi, JP Wilder, Jace Blackshear, Bulldog Lanier, Speedy Robinson, Riley Shin, Even guys like Hayden Shin, who graduated before me, that I see over and over again. There's a reason that these guys keep coming back to watching games. There's a reason that these guys keep texting us all the time. It's because Coach Peduzzi and our coaching staff throughout every year have just brought to the table a culture where we've decided that no matter, above all else, we're going to play for each other, and we're going to play for one goal. That's to win for God. And it's really awesome to see that no matter what, we are a great team, no matter who we have on the field, because where our morals stand shows on the field through our physicality. So it's really cool.
Yeah. Good stuff. I was going to mention, and you guys went down that path a little bit, but you got to be a part of a couple of state championship teams early on, Connor, and then last year you guys didn't get there. So like that's a tough thing to swallow when you're accustomed to playing to the last week, and so I wonder how much. And then Tucker, that was your first season with the team, so yes, I wonder how much motivation came from that, just from falling short of your very lofty expectations. How much did that fuel you guys going into this season?
I think the senior heavy team really pushed us more this year, because we all wanted it last year. And this year, 90% of us came back, which made us fight for it even more. And now we're getting the chance to do that. So everybody wants this about as much as you can want it.
Yeah, I totally agree with Tucker. The mentality is always different when it's your last, the last hurrah, as kind of what we've been saying all year. Like this is going to be, for at least me and Tucker and a lot of the guys, our last game. I think just like realizing compared to last year, it made a lot of the guys that have been here since freshman year really sit back and really say, okay, well, this is an opportunity that not everyone gets every year. This is an opportunity that you have to take and you have to run with it and you have to give you all you got. And I think it was really eye-opening experience to lose last year and say, okay, we want it. We're going to get it next year. And I think that's what we're about to do.
Tell me more, Tucker, about your story. I mean, coming into your last season and finding your role in this team and finding a bunch of different roles now as a leader of this group. Just, describe your time here at Hilton Head Christian Academy and how you've quickly become accustomed to the culture here and have now, developed that same urge, coming up short in a program where championship winning is the mentality. How did that kind of push you further to want to experience that now this year as you get ready for the state championship game?
So once I got here, it was a family immediately. They accepted me. They brought me in. They brought me under their wing. I'm part of this family now. And I think as the year goes on, our goal has become one family goal. It's not each person has an individual goal. We all want one thing, and we're all working together to get it. It's that easy. We all want it. We're all going to get it.
I want to take a moment too, Tucker, just to acknowledge that, not everybody may realize that we're talking about all these different roles you play, but you're a specialist first and foremost. You're a football player, but you're going to be a D1 punter. You're nationally ranked. So I guess give us some insight into kind of that balance for you, because I know there's some risk involved with you playing on defense and things like that as far as your future. But you also clearly, you're a competitor, you're a team first guy. So how do you kind of balance that with wanting to get out there and do as much as you can for your team?
I think these guys make me want to do it so much more. They make me want to play for them. They play for me, and they allow me to do what I love to do, which is play football. I want to play football as much as I possibly can. And punting is what's going to help me get to the next level, but I'm going to play defense and play as much football as I possibly can before I get there. And these guys really help me do that.
And Connor, what does it mean to you guys as his teammates to know the risk really that he's taken and putting himself on the line to help the team go as far as you can go?
I think at the end of the day, my first bat, meeting Tucker, is you see first his confidence. And it's a confidence that means that he's willing to do whatever it takes. I think we get there. It's nice to have a guy that is so talented at something so particular, but he has so many more talents under that. I mean, he's the man on defense. Him and Zane kind of back there. having him in the secondary and staying at linebacker. It's been awesome to see Tucker really come out of the shell the last 2 years and, kind of just hit hard, and, he's risking it out there because, if he gets hurt, that's not really good for him. But there's tons of guys on our team like Tucker and that are just working hard no matter what. And like Tucker said, it's a family and it's all for one goal. So
I want to welcome in Marcus Walsh. He's been stewing in the green room. I'm sure he's got several questions queued up. So let's welcome him in because I know he wants to talk with you fellas. How you doing, Marcus?
Most definitely. Great guys. Had a little cat duty to take care of.
Yeah, I did that earlier. Duty, D-U-T-Y, or duty, or both? Yes, both.
D-U-T-Y, but
yeah,
essentially could be a little both.
I had both earlier.
I have no doubt, Justin. I want to know, guys, what you're looking forward to with this Wilson Hall rematch. With the fact that you played them earlier in the year, it was a close, low-scoring game, and a little bit of a rough start for you guys to start the season. I saw you twice throughout this season. One being a couple of weeks ago in the opening round of the playoffs, and then I saw you in that Buford Academy game. But I just want to know what you think about the Wilson Hall rematch and how they're looking heading into this huge game that you guys have in Charleston on Saturday afternoon.
Well, I think we played them in our first region game of the season. This will really test us and see how much we've grown throughout the season. I think that's important to see how much work we've put in to see how it's going to pay off, and we're going to see on Saturday.
I'm going to be honest. Our defense played pretty well against Wilson Hall, but I'm more excited to show what our offense has got against a team like Wilson Hall. In particular, I play center, the offensive line. There's been a lot of talk this year about our offensive line, and last year coming in this year with a whole new offensive line, and rumors that we just aren't as good as we are. And I am so excited to show to everyone how hard our offensive line has worked in this group because it's a very young group. And guys like Hamilton Butler and Tyler Borak, Jack Grisco, and Ethan Hames have just been working all season. And of course, Dylan Clark and all of our wideouts. And it's just, I'm excited to see it come full circle for our offense. Really.
And then I was curious too, just kind of as a quick hitter, if you guys could describe the coaches, just what it's like playing for each one of your coaches.
You mean Ron Peduzzi?
Ron Peduzzi, for sure. But,
Ron Peduzzi.
Matt.
There's nobody better to play for than Coach Peduzzi. I mean, he can rally the troops. He'll get you fired up for a game. And the coaches surrounding him, they are amazing at getting us where we need to be, what we need to know, and how we need to do it for the game. And I just think that's important. Coach Peduzzi's the heart and soul of this team. He's what keeps us together and what makes us want to win. We want to win for Coach as much as he wants to win for us.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with Tucker. It's crazy that in the 4 years that I've been here, it's been a blessing to have this coaching staff. And although it's changed a lot, but I feel like every year our coaching staff just grows closer together. And they really have a unique bond where I feel like sometimes they don't even have to say it to each other. One coach, they see the same thing and one coach walks over and tells the player what to do. It's all under the brains mind of Coach Peduzzi, but guys like Hop and my dad, Coach White, and Berkner, Coach PJ, Coach Smith. I mean, man,
Berkner, you got a whole cast of characters.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's as much of the work we get done at practice. It really is a hoot to be out there with our team. It's awesome. The coaches, they really define who we are. As Coach said today in practice, it's there's only so much we can do from this point in the season. We're going to set the game plan. We're going to tell you what to do, but you guys got to do it. It's on you. And I think that's a testament to how hard our coaching staff has worked all year. And it's been amazing to see, where we can take it from there. We're going to see on Saturday.
Very good, guys. Wes, you got one more. We're about out of time. We got to get to other guests, but you got one more for them?
Yeah. Both of you guys, looking at the task that you're faced with as you get ready to go to battle on Saturday for the last time, just give a reflection of that and how much that means to prepare for this final game and the effort that you guys are going to put in over at Charleston Southern. I mean, just describe how you're feeling ahead of the culmination of this journey at Hilton and Christian County, everything that you've been through and the run you've been on to get to this point.
I think I'm doing it for the team. There's no selfishness within anybody on the team. We're all doing it for each other. We're putting the pads on one last time. Like Connor said, our last hurrah. We're going to go out with the bang. We're going to go out with the win. It's that simple. We're ready. We're where we need to be. It's that simple. It's time to go on Saturday, and we're going to win.
I mean, Tucker said it. It is that simple. I'm excited. You know, it's been a journey from freshman year to getting hurt to junior year comeback season and a senior year. And I think it's a full circle for our team. I think that every single guy wants it, and I'm putting the pads on for them, not for my own selfish reasons like Tucker said, but I'm putting it on for every other senior and every other player out there because I know they're doing the same for me. And I think this family that we got, you know, there might be adversity Saturday. There might not be, but no matter what, I know our team's going to stick together. And we're going to get that win. We are. And I think that it just comes down to the leadership we have on the team. And, you know, there's nothing like our team. I'm excited.
I'm convinced, fellas. Tevepaugh went straight up Joe Willie Namath on us. We're going to win. I love it. Good stuff, fellas. We appreciate you. And I'll be calling USCB basketball in the afternoon and then heading up there. So I'll probably be keeping tabs on my way up. But Wes will be up there, and I'm sure there'll be other Team Lowco folks. And we'll definitely get you guys on here to talk about the championship next week.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, fellas. Best of
Go
luck.
Eagles.
Tucker Tevepaugh and Connor White, terrific stuff. Go Eagles, says Lori White. Indeed. I'm convinced. They're going to get the dub. Let's shout out some MVP sponsors, starting with my wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports. She is an agent with Keller Williams of the Lowcountry, the newly founded Anchor Homes Group, and she would love to help you find your place in the Lowco, whether it's a starter home or forever home, maybe an investment property. Get in touch with Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports. I got her number, so just hit me up. I can help you out. When we find that perfect home, we'll call on Homegrown Home Inspections. My friend Jan Lucas and his team are the best in the business in the Lowco, providing just incredible expertise and customer service to every home inspection, and they are going to find everything that's wrong with that place and make sure you have the perfect home on move-in day. And we'll go sign the papers at Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate closing attorneys of LowcoSports, our original sponsors since 2017, still supporting LowcoSports like Ryan and Tiffany support so many organizations and teams in our community. So call on Mickelson Law Firm for all your legal needs. And Hospice Care, the Lowcountry, providing hospice, palliative care, and free grief counseling, among other things, to our community at no out-of-pocket cost, thanks to their wonderful CEO and fundraising team. James Dismond is the man and doing big things in our community at Hospice Care, the Lowcountry, where it's not about dying, it's about living. And now we turn the corner and welcome in the twins, the Patrick Henry twins. You guys come. Apparently, you command $100 an hour, according to Coach Brown. So we're getting off cheap for just a T-shirt. But
better not keep us too long. I'll say I want my NIL deal.
Yeah, we're here for it. As soon as high school kids are cleared for NIL, we'll get you going. We'll make you guys a T-shirt, Fairey and Fairey, for all your passing needs or something like that.
Oh yeah, I love it.
We're here for it. We're here for it all the way. But no, for folks who don't know, this is Hugh and Forest Fairey. You probably heard about them a time or two on here. The two of the Patrick Henry boys won a state championship in baseball last year. This is not your first appearance on the show, although the last time you weren't officially guests, you were just in some shenanigans happening in the background.
Just
I recall
some stuff in the background. Yeah, just some behind the scenes stuff. Yeah.
But how excited is the community over there? And Miss Berg says, watching, go Patriots. How excited is the community right now? I mean, you guys have to be walking around like rock stars in Hampton County.
I'll say, I mean, that's all everyone's been able to talk about. I mean, everyone's been sending us messages, showing support. I mean, it's just the community we have down here is amazing. And, I love to see everyone talking about it and showing us love. I mean, it's amazing. You can't ask for nothing more.
Congratulations to you two on making it to the final Saturday of the SCISA season. What an impressive job you guys did against a very strong Dorchester Academy team. Describe what you guys were able to accomplish at Dorchester and what you guys did to come away with the dub and punch that ticket to Charleston Southern on Saturday.
Well, whenever we came against them in the regular season, we could not stop. We just couldn't stop the run to save our life. I think they put up 38 on us. We made a lot of defensive changes. Just getting ready for this week. We knew coming into this game it was going to be a physical game. Just had to mentally prepare for that, and I just think we were a lot more mentally and physically prepared. Come second time around, and showing that we had to punch them in the mouth, and that's what we did to punch our ticket.
I'll say, we still didn't even play our best game there. We made a lot of stupid mental mistakes. I thought my part on the offense, we underperformed a little bit. So, just still being able to come out there with a win was huge for us. Very thankful to be where we are now.
Definitely wasn't the prettiest win, but, glad we got the job done.
Yeah.
Marcus, I was getting a little feedback off you, but I unmute you now to see if you had a question for Hugh and Forest.
I wasn't sure if that was me or not.
Yeah, I muted you and it went away, so it must have been you.
Yeah. Okay. Talk about the ride that you guys have been on this year. I've followed you from afar here in Beaufort County, but just talk about the experience that you've had this year coming from obviously where you were last year. Great seasons for both of you and the overall experience playing for a great Patrick Henry team.
I'll say, yeah, it's been a heck of a ride this year. I couldn't really ask more out of my senior year. Last year, it didn't end how we wanted. Me particularly, I broke my hand. I didn't get it in as much as I wanted. So, be able to come back this year and, just play football, that's big for me. It's been so much fun, and the beginning of the year over summer workouts. I think our coaches knew, everyone knew we had a special group. So it was really just about building on it. And, I think first two games of the season, kind of rode through easy. And then, who we're playing this Saturday, we played Lee Academy then. And I think that was the win we had that, let everyone know, okay, the Patriots are for real this year. And, after that, we've had able to cruise to some wins. And then, I think part of our struggle came, we got a little too comfortable. And I think that showed whenever we lost to Dorchester 38-23. And, able to bounce back a little bit next week when a huge comeback win against Branchville. And, we had a big game against Thomas Hayward. Sadly, weren't able to come with that one. And then it came playoff time and, everyone just had to lock in. And, refocus the group. Refocus the group, just start from, remember who we are and what we can do. Right. And I think that's what we've done so far. And, just got to go out there and do it one more time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. And we've talked about it a good bit, but I'm curious to get your perspective. That baseball championship last year, especially the way you won it. You were down and out, man. It looked like it was over. And you came back and fought through and won it. How much did that carry over into this fall? Just that never say die mentality that when you got kind of whooped by Thomas Hayward, but you came back in the playoffs. You didn't lay down. You came back stronger. How much did that baseball run kind of help fuel this fall?
Just kind of fueled, this like insert that belief in us. It is possible. Even if we lose, even if we are down, until that clock hits zero, do not give up because just like in baseball, that happened. Tears were already in my eyes in baseball. I thought we were down and out for the count for sure, but it's just it literally feels like a miracle from God sometimes, but that we're not done. We're just going to keep pushing, not give up until the last buzzer sounds.
You can definitely notice we've had a big culture change. Just I think kind of sparking from baseball too. But I think the Patrick Henry from 5 years ago is absolutely completely different than the Patrick Henry now.
Absolutely.
The championship culture, it spreads across seasons. It translates, and we're seeing that play out here for this football team. And you guys, well, I just want to hear more now that we're approaching the end of the season, and certainly a bittersweet time for you guys playing together for so long. Just describe your emotions heading into this game, and just take me back on how fun it's been to play together and play for each other throughout the years.
I mean, it's just been something we've been doing our whole lives, just from throwing the football together in the backyard, it's pretty cool, just like go out there and, just have fun, just been doing this since we were little kids. I'll say it's definitely a privilege, and, it's been special, been doing it since, 6th grade, and, got one final game coming up. I'm just thankful for it all, I mean, it'll definitely be a little bittersweet. Hopefully I can end the last game with a trophy in my hands, but, about to say it's, yeah, man, it'll definitely be bittersweet for sure.
How about future plans?
Yeah.
Sorry,
that's
Justin,
what I was going to ask. That's what I was going to ask. Do the Twins have to stick together for college, or are you going to be able to split up?
I'll say I don't. That's yet to be determined. That decision's pending. That decision's pending. I'll say I guess.
You a package deal?
We'll have to let y'all know later in the year. Yeah, we'll see.
I'm curious. I'm excited to see. But the time is now, and you guys are getting ready for this final game, playing football together. And it's a familiar opponent, Lee Academy. You saw them early on the season. You took care of business then, but this is a much different Lee Academy team now. So, tell me about your impressions on this Lee squad, and what you need to do in order to take them down again this time and bring that trophy back to PHA.
I'll say, all the coaches have been saying all week. I mean, it's absolutely true. It's very hard to beat a team twice. So, we can't go in there expecting to have the same type of game we had against them last time. We got to know that this is a new team. I don't know. I know they're on a big win streak. I don't know exactly how many games in a row. But we just got to go in there prepared. This is a new team. I mean, we know they're super run heavy. I mean, they've got an amazing coach over there, and they've got some great players too. I mean, we got a game plan, to stop them. And I think, we just go out and execute, and everyone does their jobs and plays for one another. I think we can go out and beat them again.
They've won 6 in a row since they lost to Williamsburg, 47-7 on September 29th. So they've been on a pretty good run. Best Twins in SCISA. Ooh, that's fighting words with them Davis boys up at Colleton Prep. I don't know, man. That's a pretty good battle right there. There's probably some other ones too. There's probably some other ones.
We saw that a little bit this summer, preparing for the season. I think we scrimmaged them, ran 7-on-7s against them a couple times. I say there's Twins all over SCISA. It's more than you think.
All over SCISA.
They really are everywhere.
Yeah, they are a ton.
There are a couple kids, baseball players too, that I'm trying to think of from like Calhoun or someplace. They're pretty good. Like, there's a whole bunch of them, man. SCISA's got all the twins. Really, you know who else is a twin? The official realtor of LowcoSports, Megan Jarrett. Yeah, she's a twin. We'll be going to see her twin sister next week for Thanksgiving. But no, man, I've really enjoyed getting to know the folks out at Patrick Henry. Our twins are better than your twins.
We got some characters out there. They're awesome.
You sure do. I mean, the halftime entertainment last game was Corley's deer he got that was in the back.
Oh, yeah. He let us know about it for sure. We give him a hard time. He probably won't tell you, but I think that's his. I know he missed one, and I think 2 actually. I think it was 2 deer already. He missed 2 already, so he finally got one. So
he's still posting pictures of it. He's still posting pictures of it 2 weeks later, like he's shot another one.
I think he picked him up another one. Yeah.
Did he?
I guess. Yeah, I guess he finally figured something out. Well,
I guess so.
Yeah. Speaking of Corley too, he's back in pads this week.
He'll
be ready.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. So not Cook though.
We got Corley back. We got Hunter Cook back. Yeah.
You got Hook back? Cook back with his horrible collarbone?
One last time. Yep.
All right, let's go. I mean, I guess if you busted again, you got all off season to get better, right?
That's right. Yep. That's right.
And you'll have Gerald Freeman yelling at you. That's for dang sure.
That's right. What would we do without him?
I don't know. You wouldn't know what to do out there.
I love that.
You wouldn't know what to do out there, right? Well, hey, fellas, we'll see you up there on Saturday night at Charleston Southern. And like you said, Hugh, we hope to see you lifting a trophy at the end of it. And
yes, sir.
It's been a really fun ride getting to follow you guys the last couple of years. And you didn't let us down in your last championship game. So we're counting on you sending the season out on a high note.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so we won't let y'all down this time either. Yep, we got y'all.
All right, we'll make sure we don't leave. Make sure we don't leave early. Make make sure we don't leave early this time.
Yeah,
a couple more shout outs. Big Cat loves his QB. And
I'll say
Joseph
shout out to my
McKenzie.
linemen. They were wanting a shout out at practice when I was telling them what I was going to do. So, appreciate the boys
There's
up front
Corey.
blocking.
Heck yeah! I mean, they've been beat up this year, but you got most of them back. It sounds
They're still fighting. They're still fighting. Yep.
All right, fellas.
All right,
we'll see you Saturday night. Y'all come on over. Y'all coming to Hampton County tomorrow night?
Yes, sir. We'll be there. Yes, sir. Sure.
All right, we're going live 6 to 7, so we'll get you some of the Patrick Henry boys on the mic there too.
All right, sweet. I'll say, hey, go Hurricanes,
right.
go Pats, and go Pats. Yeah,
go Canes,
go Canes, and go Pats.
All right, see y'all.
Hampton County on top.
Heck yeah!
All right, the Fairey twins. Good times. We got. Oh man, we got a bunch more comments. We got so many I can't keep up. We got best QB wide receiver in SCISA. We got Pats woohoo. We got Pats on top from Ryland Brunson. We got I'll take some hits from my Hugh Bear and Pats by 90. If you betting, Pats on top. Keep West away, and don't go to talk about me missing deer. All right, good stuff. Well, we have another guest waiting in the green room after I'm going to mute you real quick, Marcus, getting that feedback. After we shout out the varsity sponsors, and we'll start with the Parker Law Group because, there are friends from Hampton, Colleton, and Jasper counties who have been supporting folks with their legal needs out there for years and now joining us to help us expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes like the Patrick Henry boys, and as well as DDS Web Design. We're all online all the time, and they can help your website get more clicks. What is going on over there, Marcus? You're on Walkabout. DDS will get you a website up and running and use the best search engine optimization tactics to make sure you get found online so you can do more and think bigger. Check them out at ddshhi.com and tell them Lowco sent you. And now we welcome a old friend of the program who's back in the LowcoSports universe, Coach Jeremiah Faber, now of Whale Branch, which is hard to say. It's hard to say that you're from Whale Branch. You've been associated with Jasper County for so many decades. But how you enjoying the new wardrobe, new colors, and new digs over at Whale Branch?
Yeah, I enjoy wearing the purple and gold. My favorite football NFL team with the purple and gold, which is the Minnesota Vikings. So it fits right in line. I'm happy to be over at Whale Branch. Excited about the upcoming season.
Very good. Vikings, huh? You were a Fran Tarkenton guy?
No, I'm not.
Back in the day?
I watched him play when he was at the Vikings, but right now I guess I have to be Kirk Cousins or Josh Dobson guy.
Yeah, there you go. Josh Dobson. He's been great so far. But no, Coach, it's great to see you back in the game. For folks who don't know, Coach Faber was a legend in Jasper County for, decades coaching over there and had some great teams. A couple years in fairly recent times, you went to the state championship game. Just really had some excellent success over there. And then you stepped away for a few years, and now you're back in the game. So every time I saw you, I would say, "How's retirement?" And you'd say, "I don't know if I'm retired." So now you're not retired anymore. How hard was it to stay away as long as you did?
I really hadn't been away from it. Where I go to church, we have a gym there at Kingdom Touch Ministry. So we've always had the gym open on Saturday and Thursday, ever since the pandemic was going on. So I've always been involved with kids and coming out to the gym, trying to teach them, help them become better citizen, basketball players, better students, just a benefit to the community. So as I continue to work with them, the desire began to grow more, and the opportunity came to be able at Whale Branch and inquired, or I asked my Lord and Savior, is this the right choice for me? And seemed like he approved it, and came home and shared it with the wife, and she told me to go for it, and that's the story. And I applied for it, and a couple of weeks later, I interviewed, and here I am.
Coach Faber, it's awesome to talk with you again. I got to know you for a little bit before you finished up your career at Virgin Hardyville, but great to see you back on the sidelines this season. Tell me what went in the decision in coming back and choosing such a 1A program with rich history at Whale Branch, a few years removed from a trip to the state championship game with Nick Pringle, and a really consistent team that performed well in their region around years, and just an all-around great athletic culture. So just what stood out about Whale Branch that has enticed you to come back out of retirement and coach for these Warriors?
Well, God and his wife said he could.
I've always been impressed with the Whale Branch athletes, and there's so much similarity between the student athlete at Whale Branch and the student athlete at Virgin Hardyville High School. They all want to be loved. They're coachable, a little rough on the edges, but they'll work for you, and they want to be the best, and they want to be coached by the best. So making that transition from, even was a difficult situation, changing from the red and black to the purple and gold, but I think it was a positive move. It doesn't feel like it's a step back or a step down. In fact, it seems like I'm on the same playing field because the athletes remind me so much of each other. And they're, even though the original program have not, football-wise, have not reached the stature that Whale Branch football program has reached. But when we compared the basketball program, when I was in the interview, I told Principal Coleman and the athletic director, along with the district AD, Coach Cave, I said, well, Whale Branch played for 3 state championships, and I played for 3. So hopefully the 7th will be a big plus for us. There's some great kids over at Whale Branch. They're super kids to work with, excellent work ethic, excellent behavior, talented kids. So it's just like home. I'm just like me. The only difference to me is the school colors. One is purple and gold, and the other is black and red.
Coach, I had a chance to call a game of yours. I believe the year was 2019 at Battery Creek for WHHI TV. Still there after all these years, and it's great to have you back on the sideline in the Lowcountry, hoping to get out to one of your games this year. Talk about what you see so far in practices and whatnot, just a few days away from getting the season started with your team.
Well, we're still transitioning. I didn't have the opportunity to work with these young men during the summer because it was a late hire. I think I got hired about maybe the 3rd week of July. So we had some preseason workout, but most of the majority of the kids played football. So I didn't have all the basketball players in preseason. But I do have some length. I do have some height, some wide bodies. Got 2 skilled guards and a couple of shooters. So when you put that combination together and the intensity that I bring and won't, I think it's going to be a plus for us. I think we're going to have a great season. The kids come into practice and they're excited about what's going on, what I bring to the table. In the last 3 years, they have 3 different coaches. They had the Coach Raymond, then they had Coach Wade last year, and then they have me. So that's 3 different coaching style in 3 years. So they're adapting to what I'm trying to implement. It's aggressive man-to-man defense, trap, press, and try to get the ball up quick, try to beat the other team, the opponent down the floor, and they're excited about what's coming up, and we're just going to continue to work to get better.
And that's always been your style, right?
Oh yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I don't know any other.
Yeah, and I think it's a pretty easy transition in a lot of ways, though, because Antoine Wade is like Jeremiah Faber Jr. Like, you know what? You already have a junior, but he's very much on the same page as you as far as the intensity and the coaching philosophy. And Jim Raymond was kind of a similar guy too. Very, defense first, tough man-to-man D, pick it up full court. You like to press probably a little bit more than those guys did, but I don't think it'll be a huge learning curve. And like you said, you've got experienced players who have that football mentality. They have that aggressive mentality that I think really lends itself to your style of play. So, I'm excited about KJ Chisholm in your system. Yeah. I mean, he's just so active and quick and aggressive. Bradford Thompson's feet just blow me away for a big guy. And I'm excited about Isaiah Evans, big tots. He's a wide body inside. What kind of skills does he have?
Big body. He's certainly a big body. And we have another big kid now. He's not as wide as Isaiah. His last name is Gilbert.
Gregor Gilbert. Yeah, big top.
Dad played for John Graff back in the early 2000s. And he's about 6'6", 6'7", very slow around the basket, got a good touch for the game. So, as I stated earlier, it's been a while since I had that type of length and wide body. We've last 3 years we've been to the state. We probably our biggest kid probably been about 6'3".
Right, that was your undoing. Was you always ran up against somebody with 2 6'6s and you couldn't defend it. And they usually recruited them, right, Coach?
Right, that's exactly right. But the Chisholm's kid, and there's another kid on that team that no one really talks about. It's LaRon Wright. He transferred about 2 years ago back from Irmo High School. Yeah. And he's the point guard on the team. I'm going to move Chisholm over to the 2-guard position and let him work from there. But LaRon Wright is probably, when I look at basketball savvy, he's probably the best kid on that team when it comes down to basketball knowledge and savvy. He knows the game really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's phenomenal. And then David Evans, I love David Evans. He's just every team needs a David Evans.
Yes. Yeah, he's sort of struggling right now with his shot, but I understand he just come out of football.
He'll be fine
about it. But hey, man,
he'll shoot himself hot. He'll shoot himself hot.
Yeah.
Have no doubt.
Well, Coach, tell me about the schedule. From what I've heard, you got some fun ones early on in the season to get the fans hyped and to get this new well-brand season underway. So, tell me about the schedule, some Lowco matchups, and what you're looking forward these first few weeks.
Well,
we got Hampton on Saturday, right?
We'll kick off the season this Saturday against Hampton County and the Earl Campbell preseason tournament. That game should start right around by 8 o'clock. We have seven girls team participating and 4 boys teams will make the 4th team. So it's not a great field for the boys, but Hampton County should be a plus for us. We have Bridges Prep, which is an upcoming program for what I've heard. And Roy Live Oak is still trying to Coach Wilson down there, one of my former colleagues and assistant. He's still trying to build that program down there. So I think the Hampton County Real Branch game is going to be an exciting matchup, and whoever gets to the winner between the Bridges Prep and Royal Live Oak on Tuesday night is going to be a great finish for us. We're excited about it, and hopefully we want to build on that next year. We started a little late with reaching out to teams, and a lot of teams, in our region are single A team, 1A teams, and most of their kids play football, so they don't want to take the chance of having or participating in a preseason tournament before they get all the kids in practice. So we didn't get the number of teams we wanted that we invited. A lot of them declined the offer because most of them have in their 1A schools, and the kids go both ways, just like the kids in at Will Branch. It's very unfortunate that I didn't anticipate getting my football players this early.
Right.
But things happen. We had a situation where kids just we just didn't make Lake Blue just put a blind one on us, sort of get a little sucker point, did I say? But Coach had
the schedule didn't do y'all any favors. The schedule didn't do y'all any favors having to taking your first loss to Bamberg and then having to turn around and play a tough playoff game was a double whammy on you. But I'm excited to see your team for sure this year, and Hampton will be down some guys from football, but that'll still be a good little test because they got a couple guards that can really go that are basketball only guys, and they got enough depth that they'll still give you all you want. That'll be fun.
And I think most of the games, other games on the schedule that we open up with Battle Creek. You got Buford on the schedule, and I think that's about all the local teams we have on the schedule.
Coach, what do you think about some of these other boys local teams? You've been around this area and the scene for a while, so I'm sure you're in tune with some of the other talent over here. What teams or what players beyond Seabrook have impressed you as you get ready for this basketball season?
Well, we scrimmaged Bluffton this past Tuesday night, and I thought I think his name is Coach Gabriel, if I'm not mistaken.
Coach Gabriel.
He has some length, and there's a couple of kids that can play. I think they trust what he's trying to do. I think it's this first year. And sometimes when a first year coach comes, it's hard to get kids to believe and trust your system. And but I think he's going to have a pretty good team this year. And my old buddy over at Mare River, he's loaded from what I was told, that he got some super kids over there. And I think the Pupil High program is back where it's been when Beasley was over there. So and I heard that British Prairie has a couple of kids that can ball too.
They do. They do for sure. Yeah. No, I think there's going to be some pretty quality depth around the area this season, and then we'll see how it all shakes out. But I think the boys are kind of coming up a little bit right now. I think Battery Creek will be better as well. So I just think some of the teams that have been kind of down for a little bit are going to bounce back this year, and we're going to see a little bit of a rise on the boys' side. But I'm curious, Coach, you've got a lot of former players who have gone on and played at the next level and done things like that. Who are some that you're still in touch with? And particularly, I was wondering about the Butler boys. You still in touch with those guys?
Yes. I didn't get a chance. I think Devin played. He's at BMI.
Yeah.
They played the Gamecock this past weekend of Monday night, I believe, and I was involved in practice. He's at BMI. Najee Booz is at Converse College.
That's right.
Very nice.
Rochamel, he transferred to South Carolina State. He's at Pembroke, North Carolina now. And Trinard has graduated from Central Western up in the upper state. So those are the three that are still in college right now. And but they're all doing great. And I'm just excited that Rochamel, Devin, and Nadia was able to, to handle their business and still be a part of a collegiate program. Those are super kids, great kids.
Outstanding.
Yeah. That's excellent stuff, and good to see you keep in touch with those alumni, and just great to see them continue to do big things out there in the court, and you've got to be happy. How special is that to you, just to keep in touch with those, especially for someone who's been coaching for a long time? It has to feel good for you to see those young men doing, outstanding things, not just in the basketball court, but in the classroom, and to see, because that's the other role of a coach, not just to develop players on the court, but it's to mold them into great people. And that's something that I feel like you've always done throughout your career, because it's more than just the success on the court, it's success in life.
Yes, it blessed my heart when they come home and they'll call and say, "Coach, let's go to the Huddle House. We're gonna get some lunch," and they'll invite me to lunch, but then I end up paying for the lunch. but I can do that for them, because they did some great things for us while they were at Original High School, and it just blessed. It's a blessing to see those kids compete at that level. Especially Devin. I think this is his senior year, but he gets another year because of COVID. And just to see him maintain his academics and still be a part of the BMI program, that's not a hard place to go to or fit into. But because of his discipline and the things that we taught and preached them over the years, he was able to hang in there. And the same with Rochamel and Nigel. You're right. It's not about all, like I told the kids today after practice, it's not about the X and O's, man. It's not. I said, coaches don't make players. Players make coaches. You know, I can be the dumbest coach in the world, but if I got some great athletes and kids who know the game, man, I'm a smart coach. You know, so you know, it goes back to the kids, man. I was blessed with having good kids, and they were obedient, and they wanted to win, and they wanted to succeed. And I think that's the atmosphere I have right now at Well Branch. Those kids will bust their butt. They're in the classroom doing what they're supposed to do. I think KJ has a visit this weekend. He won't be at the school this weekend, participating in the tournament. He's going to Jackson State for a visit.
Oh,
and you know, it's great to see kids, man, earn it, work hard, and be rewarded.
Amen.
And goes off. Excuse me. My hat goes off to any kid who works hard and want to play on the next level. It's not all about playing on the next level, man. You get somebody to pay for your education. You get that. Nobody can take that away from you. That opens so many other doors.
That's right. Leverage that opportunity to play your sport for 4 or 5 more years into something that you can leverage for 40 or 50. That is the goal. So, amen, brother. Marcus, did you have another question for Coach before we let him go?
I just completely agree. And, Coach, it's great to have you back. We don't know our WHHI TV schedule yet, but I'm really hoping that whether home or on the road, we get to call a doubleheader of Whale Branch basketball. That was my first time. We went to Bridges Prep last year. That was my first time witnessing both programs. But with the fact that you're back in this area, I'm hoping we definitely get to see you guys some point this year.
Yeah, you gotta get it done. You should get to the Battery Creek game or the Bridges game. Battery Creek game's always hype, but you got to get to Whale Branch. You got to get to that gym. That is fun gym. That's among my favorites to go watch a game. I love being in that gym. It gets hype, get the band going. They get fired up, man. It's good times over there. Well, Coach, great to have you back in the Loco Sports universe. Not that you ever left, but back as a main character, back as a planet. Yeah. And we look forward to seeing you courtside real soon, brother.
Man, I'm excited to be there. I appreciate you guys having me on, man.
Yeah, man. It won't be the last time, I promise. Take care, buddy.
Okay. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you guys. Y'all have a good night.
You too. Coach Jeremiah Faber, now a Whale Branch Warrior after so many years as a Jaguar. It's still getting adjusted to saying that, but it's going to be fun to see him coaching over there in Seabrook. They're going to have a quality squad this year. Let's shout out the Loco Booster Club. We got Prime IV Hydration and Wellness now open in Belfair Town Village. Go see Max to get your IV drip and let him know Loco sent you. Rooted Living Wellness. If you need a chiropractic adjustment, go talk to Dr. Ambrose Cole, Mizzou grad extraordinaire, and he'll get you feeling better. My friend Kelly Houseman also working out of there as a massage therapist now, so check her out while you're there. Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry, Chris Odom will get your floors so clean. Your feet will thank you, no matter what kind of floors you have. Also, your ceiling tiles, your upholstery, whatever. Eagle Creations, if you need full-scale marketing and promotional items or custom apparel, gift baskets for your friends for the holidays, go see Eagle Creations on Argent Boulevard. And the Court Lifestyle Pros, your friends and mine, Daniel and Debbie Court, Lowcountry natives selling the Loco lifestyle on Hilton Head Island. That's the Loco Booster Club. You can join it by hitting me up at LowcoSports@gmail.com, LOWCO sports@gmail.com. Get in and help us grow this thing and scale it up to the next level. But fellas, great show tonight. We've got some great football, some great basketball on tap this weekend. I did see a score come through.
JP2 varsity girls.
JP2, yes.
I was going to save them for my athlete of the week.
Okay. Well, you can do that. But they won tonight, 38-27 over Port I see who you've got in mind for your athlete of the week. But we'll do that. But yeah, they won big tonight. So let's do athletes of the week. Wes.
Yeah.
It's JP2 girl. Are you shouting out?
Yeah, I think it's an easy choice. It's Brittany Mahoney, 25 points, double-double, 15 rebounds, 5 steals, doing it all over the court. Tremendous veteran of that JP2 squad. Karen Floyd has been at it for a while, and she has developed a couple of outstanding teams. Some terrific players have come through that program. But Brittany Mahoney has been one of the better ones and one of the most consistent young ladies. Casey Graves also with a nice night as well. But Brady Mahoney has really been that reliable rebounder who has been able to find that niche pretty much everywhere on the court, and she's picked up the score as well and delivering the defensive efforts on the other side of the floor. So a great leader, and that's someone who this team and the offense I feel like is really going to revolve around. Although got to give a shout out as well. I'll keep her unless one of you picks her, one of her teammates. So but yeah, I think Brady Mahoney is going to be a standout for this a JP2 squad that maybe is flying under the radar a little bit. That's a nice win over Porter Gow.
Yeah, no doubt. It's not on the schedule, so I don't know if it's a scrimmage. I'm not sure.
Okay.
This time of year, you never know if they're real games or not, because they played Bridges last night too, and they sent out an email like it was a game, but it was a scrimmage. So, I don't know if it's a countable game, but regardless, it's what we have to work with right now. It's a data point, right?
Yeah,
so, and it's worth something. But it's not on the schedule. So for whatever that's worth, nonetheless, we haven't talked about JP2 girls probably enough relative to, what they were last year, going into this season. So I'm glad we had the opportunity to do that because they're worthy of that. Marcus.
Just one more thing about them. It's, it's the team that's standing in their way right here in the Lowco Hilton Head Christian Academy. And, it's been tough. They've kind of had to live in the shadow of that dominant powerhouse. So, it's one of those situations where you're trying to sneak up on them. And I think this could be the year where the gap is a little narrowed, with the Hilton Head Christian Academy losing Paduzzi, which is going to be an instrumental loss. Of course, they still have, they still have Yard, they still have Hutchinson. I think they'll still be the favorite, but JP2, it's gonna be an improved squad.
No question. Yeah, the gap should close a little bit. Marcus, you got an athlete of the week you want to shout out?
I tell you what, I'm just so impressed again from afar, but I'm so impressed with Hugh and Forest. I'm gonna give them, with especially Patrick Henry playing for a state championship on Saturday evening. I'm going to give them my athletes of the week. Obviously, I've seen HHCA, and I've talked a little bit as well over the year about Hampton. I'm going to give those guys, Hugh and Forrest, my athletes of the week. Just really, really great kids. And that Patrick Henry squad has really played well these last couple of years, especially.
Well, you had a pretty big game last week, as he's prone to do. 18 for 28 for 250 passing, no touchdowns, which is rare for him. But see, they knew they had to attack Dorchester a different way.
Yeah.
So they did. And Hugh also had 15 carries for 66 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Forrest had a quiet game. You can tell that Dorchester tried to take him away because he's the biggest weapon on offense. He was 2 for 22 receiving. So they kind of neutralized him, but other guys stepped up. Meanwhile, Forrest did have 3 tackles and a tackle for loss on defense. And he also had a punt return. Yeah, he did a little bit of everything. They do it all in the SCISA game. Everybody does it all. But certainly, Forrest, he's at this point in the season, everybody who plays them he's going to draw a lot of attention. You're going to try to take him away and make somebody else beat you, because it still might not work because he's put up stupid numbers receiving this year. Let me pull him up. He's got 47 catches for 1,025 yards.
Wow.
And 10 touchdowns. So, he and his twin brother obviously have a pretty good connection going there, and they have a way of knowing when they're going to zig or zag, and it's been pretty special. So I hope they can pull it off on Saturday. That'd be really cool for that community. It's been an interesting time in Hampton County, but everybody's rallied around the football teams right now, and it's really a cool thing. So looking forward to seeing all those folks on Friday night and then on Saturday night as well. And by the way, we had another Nathan Corley said, "See y'all fellas tomorrow. Pats and Canes on top. Roll Patriots." I'm going off the board for my athlete of the week. I'm going all the way up to Pikeville, Ohio, where Lee Kirkland, former Bluffton Bobcat quarterback, Lee Kirkland was just named the Offensive Player of the Year in the Appalachian Athletic Conference of the Year in the Appalachian Athletic Conference. He passed. He was 219 of 358, 61.2%. For 2,741 yards with 31 touchdowns and 6 interceptions this season. He's had a tremendous career up at Pikeville, a place that probably a lot of people kind of scoffed when he signed, and probably said, oh, Pikeville, NAIA. Look, man, the guy's gotten an education. He's played 5 years of football. He's the Offensive Player of the Year. And if he wants to, somebody's going to pay him to play football after this. It might not be in the NFL, but somebody's going to pay him to throw the football after this because he looks like freaking Ben Roethlisberger out there. And it's unreal. And I think we're going to get him on the show next week. I reached out to him. He said that sounded cool. So we're going to try to get him on real soon, now that with things dying down a little bit before we fire up too much over the holidays, we'll definitely get him in here. But Lee Kirkland is my player of the year. I saw his dad the other day and told him, I don't know if you watch, but we talk about him all the time. Every time he wins an award or something, we've been following that journey, and we're really proud of another kid from the Lowco who bet on himself, took whatever opportunity was there. You can't control what the opportunities are. You can only choose the best one and run with it. And he has done exactly that, and he's still going, and we're really proud of him. So shout out to Lee Kirkland. Marcus, you're making all kinds of noise over there. It's beyond your control. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching him as a high school athlete here in the Lowco, and certainly he put on a show at times, but he's really turned it on at the next level. And I think the dedication has really pushed him to that next tier, and it's going to be hard to bet on him from this point forward if he decides to continue at another higher level in the future, because I think he's got that mold and that extra level of intangibles and just everything that you need to be a successful quarterback at the college level. I mean, you mean the pure talent might not be there compared to some others, but the work ethic has really shot him over the top, and he's really proven himself as a consistent, the completion, the high completion percentage, the touchdown interception ratio. He rarely makes mistakes. He's that blue collar guy, and we've seen those molds that have done big things, whether they've been walk-ons at like higher level college programs or guys that were late bloomers.
Kurt Warner.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, this Tyler Bagent kid in Chicago, like it happens. Tony Romo.
Yep.
I mean, it's a different level in AIA, but Lee looks like a prototypical NFL quarterback. And like I could see him just getting a chance, being on a scout team for a year or two, and then being the third string guy, emergency guy for a year or two, and then holding a clipboard for 6 or 8 years, and then being a coach. Because his dad and his grandpa are both coaches. I mean, his dad, Richard, was, the most successful coach at Ridgeland in a good minute until this year, and has been on the staff at Bluffton for years and been a big part of that. His grandfather is Michael Tu, who was the basketball coach at Bluffton and Colleton County before that, on the football staffs there. So like the guy comes by it honestly. He's a coach in waiting as soon as he's done playing. But I think there's an opportunity for him to go and make a living for a little while, doing it professionally and absorbing more knowledge in a backup role. And, maybe he'll end up like my guy, Chase Daniel, the safest and most lucrative NFL career in history. The guy's made like tens and tens of millions of dollars, and he's like barely taking any snaps. He just stands over there and holds the clipboard and goes like this.
You got to feel pretty good about Mizzou's game this week, right?
I feel great about that win over Tennessee. That was nice.
Yeah.
It was so nice that I fell asleep. Didn't feeling good about it. Didn't even have to watch it.
Who they got this week?
This week's game against Florida.
Yeah, that always makes me nervous. Florida makes me nervous. They just, I don't know, man. They scare me. But I feel good about this Mizzou team. But the basketball team's getting trounced by Minnesota right now, so that's not great. That's not great. But yeah, I feel pretty good about Florida. We're 11-point favorites. We're at home. Should be good. Should be good, but that feels like a trap game, kind of. You know, I don't know. If we could have, we let that LSU game get away.
Yeah,
and then we had chances against Georgia. Like if we won that LSU game, we're talking about potentially being in the playoff. Like, it'd be wild. But we're in the top 10 already, so who knows?
Huge. New Year's 6, possibly
6. Yeah.
Need somebody to beat Georgia. Need somebody to beat Georgia. But that would be nice. Well, fellas, I think we can call it a night. It was a great show. Thanks so much to the fellas from Hilton Head Christian Academy. Connor White, I do have to make a producer's statement. Connor White does not have a lisp. Apparently, when he had his phone upright before he turned it sideways during our interview, the speaker was giving reverb that made it sound like he had a lisp, and they're cracking up about it as his house. He doesn't have a lisp. It was just a malfunction of his speaker. So I did feel the need to know that piece of information. Shout out to Connor White. He can sing the national anthem, and he does not have a lisp. And he's also a heck of a center. Heart and soul on that offensive line, really. Yeah. And then Tucker Tevepaugh. Wow.
Great.
I mean, I was already impressed with him as a football player, but that interview really drove it home for me. That kid's a real deal. Somebody's getting a really quality individual for their program who can also be a great punter for them. The Fairey twins were pumped for their appearance tonight, and they lived up to the hype. They were outstanding. Look forward to seeing them and all the Hampton County folks out there tomorrow night. And then, of course, we got Faber back in the mix, so that's exciting. Bringing a little more juice to hoop season. We did not talk about USCB. But we'll talk about them much more soon enough. The women lost last night 52 to 46 or something like that, 54 to 46.
Men are 2-0 over Morris.
The men are 2-0. They're averaging 127 points per game. Tasso Spanos scored in 27 last night, and Kobe Shuri, the Aussie sharpshooter, had 20. So now 5 different guys have scored 20 plus.
I'm excited for high school football, but I'm going to be envying you because you're going to be back out there for the call against Voorhees, and I'm excited to see what they do for an encore in home game number 2.
Yeah, it should be fun. Me and Coach Basirico on the call. Yeah, that's going to be a good time, and I'm looking forward to some more dunks and some more hype. And now the fellas know who I am, so hopefully they'll come over and give me some love, but it's going to be fun. Can't wait. If you don't have tickets, get them. They still got a few available for USCB home games on Saturday, 1:30 and 3:30. Environment is hype. It's way fun. It's way more than you imagine. I promise. It's a good time. So come check it out. And if not, check us out on Sandshark Game Day Network, uscbathletics.com. Or if you got the Peach Belt app on your smart TV, you can watch it on the big screen. Me and Coach Basirico, for all you Hilton Head Prep fans, going to be talking hoops. So good times. Thanks so much to all of our guests. Again, to Connor White and Tucker Tevepaugh. That's fun to say. The Fairey twins, Forrest and Hugh, and to Jeremiah Faber Sr. over at Whale Branch now. It's like the Oakland Raiders. Who's my pick tomorrow night in Hampton? Aaron Bishop, former USCB Sandshark baseball legend. Who's your pick tomorrow night in Hampton? Hampton, bro.
Of course.
I got Hampton all the way.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the toughest. I think Andrew Jackson is going to provide a strong fight. They've got an excellent running back, as I said at the top. They've got a hard-working line, but I do think Hampton has the edge defensively. And on the other side, I think you got a multi-dimensional offense that's really hitting their stride at the right time. And Xavier Garvin's made a biggest splash as well alongside Chris Terry. So they've got a lot of guys who can beat you. I think that really suits it up well for this Hampton County Hurricane squad, and I think they punched their ticket to the Final Four.
Yeah, I think so too. Marcus, you agree? I know you're a homer through and through. You're going
without
Hampton
question.
All the way.
Yeah, I'm going Hampton. I'm going HHCA. I'm going Patrick.
Yeah, I'm going all Lowco. My ballot is all Lowco. I know I'm biased here, but I think Kilnet Trish got me. I think they run away with it in the second half. They're just playing on another top level, as we've said so many different times this time of the year for that Eagles program. It seems accustomed to be the case. Last year was not the norm, although that was still a quality team, just a growing team. And I think now they're hitting their peak, and you just know that the championship mentality is very well with that team. And then PHA, I think that's going to be the least confident game, the least confident.
That's the toughest. Yeah, that's the toughest of the three for me too.
But
and it's nothing to do with PHA. It's everything to do with Lee. That's a tough football team.
They've been there before. They know, they've experienced. This is the fourth straight year they played a state championship game. That means a lot. Patrick Henry, how are they going to respond out of the gate? How are they going to? Are the nerves going to get to you, or are you going to just treat it like a normal game? You're going to learn a lot from how they start those first few minutes. But
I will say what they did last week at Dorchester was really encouraging for this week, as far as how they were able to handle playing a more physical game. I think that suits them well. Hampton also has the secret weapon, the one thing that Andrew Jackson doesn't have. One time.
Yeah.
His dogs. One time in his dogs.
I can't wait to see what he brings up because
I already asked Valerie what he's got. I said I can't wait to see what he's got in store. I know you're not going to spoil it for me, but I can't wait to see what he's got in store. I mean, because he's already got the stuffed dog, he's got the hurricane hat. Like, what else are we bringing out this week? It's going to be a good time. Bum, 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 bum.
Hey, stay in your lane! Get somebody! Get him! Get it, TD! Get him!
It's just the best place. It's just the best place to be on Friday night. Marcus, you want to ride out with us tomorrow night?
I'll let you know.
Train leaves the station at 4:30.
Got some stuff
live from 6 to 7. There's Zion. Oh, we got to hear the bell.
There it is.
Music to my ears. Oh, wait. One time.
I don't need no water. Give me a phone. Give me a phone.
G-Daddy. He says, I don't need no water. Give me a bone. And then G-Daddy finishes it off. I mean, God, I love that place, man. I can't wait to be out there tomorrow night with y'all. It's going to be great times. All right, fellas, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks again to everybody who stopped by or commented, everybody who was a part of the show. We appreciate it all. We love having you all along for the ride. Thanks to our sponsors, especially the official realtor of Loco Sports, Megan Jarrett. She really is the reason that all of this exists, and we need her support so that we don't have to get a real job. Let's go. So everybody buy a house with Megan Jarrett. And everybody will be happy in Loco Sports land. That's going to do it for this episode. Thanks so much for coming along for the ride. And until next time, go Loco.
The Loco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.